Entrepreneurs and their small enterprises are responsible for almost all the economic growth in the United States. Most entrepreneurs are merely technicians with an entrepreneurial seizure. Most entrepreneurs fail because you are working in your business rather than on your business. This is my advice to entrepreneurs. It's easy to give up, but believe in your ideas. Surround yourself with people you respect and are smarter than you. The dream for many millennial women is to make a difference as social or political entrepreneurs. They are using the social media and marketing tools they have mastered to empower less fortunate women and direct them onto career tracks that women have traditionally avoided, like science and technology. Entrepreneurs have a great ability to create change, be flexible, build companies and cultivate the kind of work environment in which they want to work. But as an entrepreneur you have to feel like you can jump out of an aeroplane because you're confident that you'll catch a bird flying by. It's an act of stupidity, and most entrepreneurs go splat because the bird doesn't come by, but a few times it does. I've often thought of successful entrepreneurs as individuals who have just the right expertise, at just the right moment, to solve the emerging problems of their time. Philanthropy is often seen as society's risk capital. That means the onus is on philanthropists, nonprofit leaders and social entrepreneurs to innovate. But philanthropic innovation is not just about creating something new. It also means applying new thinking to old problems, processes and systems. In most every business, you learn by doing. The apprenticeship model is much more effective than the classroom for cultivating entrepreneurs. As all entrepreneurs know, you live and die by your ability to prioritize. You must focus on the most important, mission-critical tasks each day and night, and then share, delegate, delay or skip the rest. The path to diversity begins with supporting, mentoring, and sponsoring diverse women and men to become leaders and entrepreneurs. Bitcoin is open source, global, and requires no permission from anybody, so thousands of entrepreneurs are gravitating in and building their vision. What I would say to young entrepreneurs is there's so many moments in your life where you have these dreams, and people are trying to protect you, and they say, perhaps, friends, family, parents sometimes. They don't agree with it, they think, this is just too high of a hurdle, and I don't agree with that. Entrepreneurs, both women and men, need equal and fair access to finance, to create new businesses, to reach to new markets, and to adapt to climate change. While entrepreneurs spend a lot of effort trying to avoid failure, sometimes the lessons one learns from those missteps can be invaluable. Entrepreneurs with disabilities are overwhelmingly successful. The developing world is full of entrepreneurs and visionaries, who with access to education, equity and credit would play a key role in developing the economic situations in their countries. Successful entrepreneurs find the balance between listening to their inner voice and staying persistent in driving for success, because sometimes success is waiting right across from the transitional bump that's disguised as failure. Free enterprise empowers entrepreneurs who have ideas and imagination, investors who take risks, and workers who hone their skills and offer their labor. A startup for entrepreneurs is like a baby, and I have 5 babies so far, experienced father. Entrepreneurs are risk takers, willing to roll the dice with their money or reputation on the line in support of an idea or enterprise. They willingly assume responsibility for the success or failure of a venture and are answerable for all its facets. California has a special relationship with the Internet. Many of the core technologies that power the Internet were invented here. Many of the most successful online entrepreneurs and content creators, in business, the arts, and countless other endeavors, got their start here. Everywhere I go, I always look for creative entrepreneurs, whether it's artisans and craftsmen, small farmers and gardeners, or restaurateurs who use fresh, locally sourced ingredients. I admire the courage and self-reliance it takes to start your own business and make it succeed. Not only does neoliberalism undermine both civic education and public values and confuse education with training, it also treats knowledge as a product, promoting a neoliberal logic that views schools as malls, students as consumers, and faculty as entrepreneurs. Here in Silicon Valley, I have taken part in hundreds of conversations trying to convince people to dive in and become entrepreneurs. All too often, innovators with good, safe, jobs are unwilling to put their family's access to health care at risk by walking away from company-backed medical insurance. There are a number of traits that combine to create entrepreneurial potential. We find that openness coordinates very well with successful entrepreneurs. The more open-minded you are, the more you see the world as it actually is. The more closed-minded, the more you see the world as you want it to be. Over a 10-year period, 99 out of 100 new entrepreneurs will fail. Only one will be left standing as others get pushed out of the market or burn out from working so hard. It's really sad. Entrepreneurs have a natural inclination to go it alone. While this do-it-yourself spirit can help you move forward, adding an element of collaboration into the mix can make you unstoppable. The crypto market has set the bar shockingly low for entrepreneurs to raise money, and this is dangerous for everyone involved. All human beings are born entrepreneurs. Some get a chance to unleash that capacity. Some never got the chance, never knew that he or she has that capacity. Sleeping at night is not a specialty of entrepreneurs. The entrepreneur who is sleeping soundly, something bad is happening to that person, they just don't know it's happening yet. In this digital age, it doesn't really matter if you are in Canary Wharf or the Caribbean, there are opportunities waiting to be grasped by entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs and innovators across the country are developing and deploying new data-powered IT tools to help clinicians succeed at delivering better care at lower cost. Talk to successful entrepreneurs. Learn about what they've experienced so you can avoid some of the pitfalls that come with wealth. I would say raising capital is one of the weakest things for most entrepreneurs. No one has ever asked me to give a graduation speech, but in my years of working with aspiring entrepreneurs, many of them in college, I've gotten used to giving advice. When times are bad is when the real entrepreneurs emerge. Social entrepreneurs come from different backgrounds and are by and large, starved of capital. Such socialpreneurs must have extraordinary passion to follow their dreams. America glories in its tradition of the self-made individual. Political candidates compete to be a friend to entrepreneurs and policymakers, imagining the next Microsoft or Google. Design laws to back the innovator in the garage. Artists, writers, and people in creative fields are entrepreneurs by necessity. Nobody gives them a paycheck or picks up their medical insurance. The ones who succeed learn to think and act like independent operators. I think people who are technically employees have to think this way as well. The company is not looking out for you. In Silicon Valley, I point out that many of the more successful entrepreneurs seem to be suffering from a mild form of Asperger's where it's like you're missing the imitation, socialization gene. When most people hit failure, they give up. But good entrepreneurs simply treat failure as a learning experience and use it to fuel and inform their next move. We are a mixed economy. We will remain a mixed economy. The public and private sector will continue to play a very important role. The private sector in our country has very ample scope, and I am confident that India's entrepreneurs have the capacity and the will to rise to the occasion. I have seen businesses and government come together to provide women entrepreneurs with the training they need to better access markets, take advantage of trade agreements, and in the process grow businesses, jobs, and GDP. These are partnerships that transform lives. We are raising today's children in sterile, risk-averse and highly structured environments. In so doing, we are failing to cultivate artists, pioneers, and entrepreneurs, and instead cultivating a generation of children who can follow the rules in organized sports games, sit for hours in front of screens and mark bubbles on standardized tests. The idea that there is one kind of African is, of course, ridiculous. Sometimes African entrepreneurs want to kill you because you are saying public health is the priority, not roads. Of course they are right to press for that issue, but so are we right, I believe, to argue, for example, that millions of children could and should be vaccinated. In my experience, poor people are the world's greatest entrepreneurs. Every day, they must innovate in order to survive. They remain poor because they do not have the opportunities to turn their creativity into sustainable income. The most important thing that we entrepreneurs have is our human capital. If we exhaust it, we make bad decisions. Networking is all about connecting with people, but then again, isn't that what life is about? The more time you can find to get out of the office and build true friendships, the farther your startup will go. Entrepreneurs need to remember to spend as much time working on their business as they do in their business. The internet has democratized content, and the gatekeepers are no longer in control. That democracy is wonderful for entrepreneurs. Visit our website for more quotes, Quoting.com